One of the lows I would anticipate you would say was that the period in dealing with the RFRA, what was known as RFRA, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. The business community, there was a big spotlight shined on Indianapolis and Indiana, and largely not in a positive way.
Got a phone call from one of my communications people and said, this is Wednesday, the first Wednesday, saying, if you do not put out a press release today, Gen Con is leaving,
Wow.
which is the largest convention we have in the city at the time. They're leaving. Whoa, because they couldn't
Yeah.
get sponsors. Nobody wanted to come to the state. Da, da, da. I could tell you numerous stories about people not wanting to come to the state and talent saying to large companies and universities, I'm
Yeah,
not
how
going
you
there,
talk,
or the
talk about
talent
that, Greg.
stuff.
How bad did it get? Because I would hear the stories in covering that back in the day. Certainly, how significant was it?
It was it was very significant. I heard about it months afterwards. There were lots of stories about that. I got a whole section in there about reaction nationally to it, but universities were losing students who were coming. Companies couldn't get people to come into the state anymore. And if it wasn't the worker, it was the spouse who said, no, I'm not going there. I had mayors calling me up, probably 4 or 5 mayors called me up and said, Greg, I love you, man, but I'm putting out an edict that no one can travel to the state of Indiana. All of this was happening in real time. And the
Yeah.
convention business it was terrible. What was happening was terrible. I made several phone calls during that time. The ICVA, busy Indy now, wanted asked me to call, to try to hold on to them because I'm the most prominent Republican in the state who's saying this is wrong. And I mean, I had to do it. As I say in the book, you can't delegate that sort of thing. You
Yeah.
got to be the guy at that point in time. And so it was a very, very difficult 10 days. And it wasn't until that second Tuesday, as one of my chiefs of staff said, it when the second Tuesday or the Wednesday morning, that the State House finally realized they screwed this up. They made a
Yeah.
big mistake here. It took them quite a while for them to get to because they were believing all the hype that this was all the woke stuff and this was all the press and that, oh, this will be, if you just be quiet, it'll all go away. It was all nonsense. That was all nonsense. The national press was right about what this meant, and it was terrible. And it was a very difficult time. My most difficult time being the mayor, obviously.